And I hope that when the governors are going to look into the issue of elevating the role of the Niger Delta Development Commission, that they will actually look into the concept of the name of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Because now Lagos State claims that it has oil. I use the word claim because if you say that you are an oil producing state, you must in effect be producing oil on a daily basis, just like Rivers State is producing. If you are not producing oil on a daily basis, you are not oil producing state. If they are exploring for oil, which they are doing in some parts in the north, you are not oil producing state. But then the Minister of State for Petroleum have told us that they have discovered 1 billion barrels of oil deposits somewhere in the north. Now, if that be the case, for my sake and your sake, I am very happy, because as long as the Constitution says that it is 13% derivation and there is no ownership of oil and gas, then it means that the oil, the 1 billion barrels of oil deposit that the Minister of State to Petroleum have said is deposited, that they have seen in the north, belongs to Nigeria. It does not belong to the state where it is found. And when they are exploring, then they will only get 13%. But we should not allow a situation where a state will claim that because it has oil deposits, whether it is explored or not for now, that it too qualifies for 13%. Because there are some people who think they are smarter than the rest of us. And there are some people who think that what they say is what will carry. So, i.e., if you say you have found oil in any state, say in Kaduna State, for instance, and you say you found oil, there are people who will be able to rush to the floor of the Senate, because they are more than us, and raise a bill and say, because we can say that we have found oil deposits of 5 billion barrels of oil in our state, you must begin to pay us 17% of 5 billion barrels of oil. Some people may hear me now and say, they're no fit, but they're fit because they've done worse than those things. When you hear somebody get up and say that protests should no longer be allowed, and this is a bill that somebody wants to raise in Nigeria, then I can speculate that if we are not careful, and when you actually hear somebody says that, again, if you have spent 10 years, if you've lived and worked for 10 years in Rivers State, doesn't matter where your state of origin is, you have now become an indigene of Rivers State. That's the craziest and silliest thing I have heard. But then, Nigeria, anything is possible. So, for instance now, you then become a dual state person in Nigeria, because if you have lived for 10 years in Rivers State, you automatically become an indigene. Do you give up your other original state, your other state of origin? Calling from?
My name is Jude. I'm calling you from Obibo here.
Okay, Obibo, Jude.
Yes, I've been listening to you understand?
Yes, sir.
I love the area, the angle you are going. I love what you are saying, but
I know there was a bird coming.
I want to chip in.
Yes.
Yes, I had a dream last night. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Are you Martin Luther King?
Hello?
Are you Martin Luther King? Go ahead.
No, I'm not Martin Luther King. I had a dream last night that one day,
yes, sir,
a day will come in less than 10 years from now.
Yes, sir.
That Hausa man, Hausa Fulani man, a Muslim, will rule this river state.
God will forbid bad thing. No way.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. That Hausa Fulani, a Muslim, in less than 10 years from now, or 60 years, will rule this river state.
Go ahead.
Now, what I want you to understand is, I don't want you to be talking about Niger Delta, South, East. I want us to unite and fight this people once and for all. We cannot be in Nigeria and be fighting them. There is no way to have, because as time goes on, this will overtake us, and you will no longer recognize it. There will be no difference between indigent and non-indigent. Before you know it, those who told us that the only empire that belongs to Chigawa is becoming indigenous of this place they are talking about.
Okay, so your point is that because at the point where you said you don't want me to be talking about South and Niger Delta, that is where, yes, let me.
These people have succeeded, they have succeeded in dividing us, and when they divide us, we will continue to fight within ourselves, while they will continue to stop the oil. You understand? Remember that whatever is happening in this Niger, the so-called Niger.
Okay, see, let me restrict you and I to the point where you have raised. There are laws. Unless you want us to break laws, and I don't want to be a lawbreaker. I know what you are. Wait. I know. Listen to me. Listen. If you won't listen to me, I will cut you off. You have to listen. Okay, now, I've heard what you have said. I don't even disagree with what you have said. What I don't agree with is that as I sit in this studio, I do not have the authority, nor do I have the right of my own people. I don't have the right of Rivers people. I don't have the authority of Rivers people. I don't have the authority of my own ethnic nationality to say to you and to go on air and say that Rivers State is one with any other state. That is a choice that will be made collectively with Rivers people. Wait. I have listened to you. Because you see, if you keep dragging this issue on air and coming to me on my program that I am paying for and telling me you don't want me to, I will disagree with you because I don't have the right. I don't have the right. You know it. And please take one thing into consideration. I experienced the war. From your voice, you didn't. You were born after the war. I was I was born, I saw the war, I felt the war. There is nothing you can tell me about Biafra. It's good that you have cut off, because you cannot come to programs and tell people what they should do, because that is what you want to do for yourself. That's a decision that, hello?
Hello, hold on. Yeah.
Hello?
Hold on. Hello? That's Annkio. Hello?
Hello? Okay, now, you see, this movement of people talking on their own issues, and, hello? This movement of people from Niger Delta, Isoko people, Ijo people, and that means that tomorrow we can have somebody come on the floor and say anybody from any state can vie for governorship of that state if you've lived in Rivers State for 4 years, because the tenure for governance comes up every 4 years. I will not be surprised if there are people sitting down thinking that they are so smart that they can raise that bill. They can do that because we have legislators representing us at that level where bills are read for the first time and we hear nothing about it. And the next time we're hearing about something, we're hearing it is the second hearing that they are doing in the National Assembly. So